Clear as daylight, my sister said, raising her glass. Where are your husband and kids? Oh, right, you don't have any. The laugh wasn't loud. It was a blade. My parents smiled as if it were harmless. My fork hung in midair. Years of bills paid, a mortgage saved, and I was the joke. I set my spoon down, met her eyes. Where's your money, Sloan? A beat. Oh, right, I've been funding you. Until today. Silence dropped like a curtain. It didn't end anything. It began what came next. Before I tell you what that silence became, tell me where you're listening from. And when you hear the rest, tell me what you'd have done at that table. I'm Mara Ellison, 32, a UX researcher on Capitol Hill in Seattle. On paper, my life is tidy. Clean apartment, steady job, quiet mornings. What you don't see is where half my paycheck goes. Into the black hole called family. My mother, Evelyn, left nursing after heart surgery. My father, Gerald, once taught economics, then consulted, mostly waiting for calls that never came. Sloan, 4 years younger, calls herself a fashion influencer. What she influences is my balance. Her texts begin the same. Hey sis, just this once? Every Sunday I drive to Tacoma for dinner. Roast chicken, mashed potatoes, something sweet. Coffee and polish in the air. Photos on the wall, Sloan's sash, Dad shaking hands, Mom in scrubs. None of me alone, I'm the half-cropped blur at the edge. That Sunday, the warmth felt wrong, stretched thin. Sloan scrolled, smirked, and fired her shot. I fired mine back. The clock ticked. No one breathed. I drove home in rain, opened my laptop, hovered over the transfer. Tonight, I told myself, it ends. By morning, my phone was a hive. Mom, sweetheart, the mortgage didn't clear. Dad, you missed the house transfer. Sloan, rent due. Can you Venmo? I turned the screen face down and made coffee that rattled the spoon. At lunch, I opened my bank history and let the numbers accuse me. All week, the messages hardened from puzzled to punitive. You can't do this to family. After all we've done, be reasonable. I saved everything, texts, statements, receipts, into a folder called Ledger, like I was finally naming the ghost I'd been feeding. Friday night, the order arrived. Come home Sunday, we need to talk. I drove to Tacoma under a low sky. The house looked smaller. Inside, Mom arranged napkins. Dad sat at the head of the table. Sloan leaned on the counter, phone a mirror for her disdain. We can't live like this, Mom said without meeting my eyes. You mean without my direct deposit, I said, hanging my coat. Dad's jaw clicked. You've always helped. Why stop now? Because help isn't help when it's expected. That's obligation. Sloan snorted. Look who found boundaries. I set a folder on the table. Paper hissed. Records. Every payment I've made since 25. $84,000, including the new couch. Dad's mouth thinned. Keeping score? Keeping proof. I slid a single page to him. Also this, a home equity loan opened in my name. Color drained. That's absurd, he said. The bank disagrees. I breathed once. I retained counsel. Rachel Tran. You have 30 days to remove my name from everything and repay what's owed, or she files. Silence gathered. Mom's eyes rimmed pink. Sloan's bravado faltered. Try me, I said, and closed the folder. Outside, the wind changed. 2 weeks later, Rachel called. The bank confirmed the forgery, she said. Your liability is gone. They've opened an investigation. I didn't speak. The pressure between my ribs lifted like weather breaking. Next came a link. The Tacoma house was listed, peeling porch, coffee stains, the dining room where the laugh turned blade. No triumph, only cause and effect. Build on borrowed ground, and the slope gives. Mom texted, one last dinner before we leave. Please come. I went. Boxes stacked like small altars to the life I'd subsidized. Sloan's phone lay face down. Dad's voice was quiet. We ate without performance. After, I said, I'm not cutting you out, but I won't be your safety net. If you fall, you get up. No one argued. For once, silence wasn't a weapon. It was acknowledgement. At the door, Mom touched my sleeve. We were scared, she whispered. We thought you'd fix it. I always did, I said. That's why you stopped learning how. Driving north, I cracked the window. Cold, clean air. In my apartment, I poured the good wine I'd saved for a someday that never arrived, and lifted the glass to dark water and lace of city light. To endings, to beginnings, to the cord I cut. In the weeks after, I took the promotion, took a night course, watched savings grow. Some mornings I hear that laugh. Then I remember I answered it. Love that demands your peace is hunger with manners. If you're listening from a table like mine, here's what I learned. No is a form of care. Start there, and the rest will follow.